Hello, you lovely people of Primary 1D1. How I miss you all, you know this. We've spoken this morning on our Zoom video conference, and now it is time for the second part of story time with me, Mr. Head, your teacher on English days. And what I would like to start with is a little introduction to a new reading strategy. You may have come across this before, whether it be last year in primary intro, or whether it be at an old school of yours, maybe even at home with your older brother or sister, with your mom, your dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, who knows? You may have come across this idea before, and in fact, we all do it a lot of the time, okay? Some of us maybe a bit more than others. I tell you one famous person who actually does this. In fact, two famous people who do this. One is an actor. His name is Jim Carrey. He is a comedian and also stars in a lot of different films. He played the Grinch, if you know the Grinch, and he definitely uses this strategy. Who else uses this reading strategy? Usain Bolt. He is a very successful runner. He does really fast running, and he's won gold medals in the Olympic Games. He also uses this strategy, okay? And the name of it, it's a super long name, it's got 13 letters. The name of it is visualization. Can you say that? Good. Visualization. A lot of different mouth movements going on there when you say that big long word. And I've written it down right here at the bottom of my drawing. Can you see that? Visualization. Remember, Tion, that makes the shun sound. Doesn't really make sense if you break it down to tion, but in English, the tion makes the shun sound, okay? Visualization. So what is it? Well, visualization is like making a movie, a film, inside your head when you are either reading a story or, as in today, when you are listening to somebody else read that story to you, okay? So what you should do when you're reading a story or listening to a story, in order to help you understand it better, or rather what you can do, is use these two things, okay? Over here, this is your brain, okay? In your brain, if you remember from our human body unit of inquiry unit, in your brain is the hippocampus. And the hippocampus collects memories, helps you to remember things, okay? So, you can use what you know about the world, okay? And then also your imagination, okay? What pictures you can conjure up, produce, create in your mind. Fantasy pictures, pictures of like pretend worlds, okay? Everything that you have in your brain and in your body and in at your fingertips, okay? All of that magic stuff, all right? You can use all of that. What you know, plus, little addition problem here, bit of maths for you. What you know, plus what you can imagine, okay? Those two things help you to visualize a story, whatever you're reading or listening to, and make a movie, make some pictures in your mind, okay? And what we're going to do today is we're going to listen to part of a story, okay? I'm not going to read the whole story, but I'm going to read part of a story. And I want you to listen to that, and then I want you to draw a picture or pictures of what you, in your mind, are seeing, okay? All right. Normally you're going to have pictures in your books that you're reading to go along with it. But today I'm reading from a book that I have here. There are pictures in it, but you won't necessarily be able to see them. So you need to use what you know and what you can imagine to visualize this story. And either as you're listening or after you finish listening, I would like you to draw a picture or pictures. It can also include words. You can label the pictures. You can do speech bubbles like you would see in cartoons or comics with the characters in the story saying things, okay? Thinking things. They could be in think bubbles, like this think bubble here, right? This is a think bubble. And it's not about the pictures being like beautiful or brilliant. They're just really quick pictures, okay? What I want to see from your picture is that you've understood what is happening in the story, okay? That is the most important part of visualizing. It's not an art lesson. The pictures do not need to be beautifully coloured. Can just be drawn very quickly in pencil, but include everything that is happening inside your mind, in your imagination, when you've heard this part of the story. Okay? Alright, good. So, the story is called The Enormous Crocodile, and it's by Roald Dahl. Okay? So, here we go. Have you got your listening ears? You've got your listening hands? You maybe want to just shake out the shoulders a little bit before you start. Find somewhere comfortable to sit. Okay, could be the floor, bean bags, some cushions around you. Make it nice and relaxing. Get yourself a piece of paper if you want to actually draw while you're hearing the story. If you want to just listen first of all, that's also fine. You can do your drawing afterwards. Okay. When you've done your drawing, what I would really like to see is that drawing. So if you can take a photograph of it and then send it over to me, or get mum or dad to help you scan it and send it over to me, that would be excellent. I would really, really love to see those. Okay, so let's have a little look. In the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa, two crocodiles lay with their heads just above the water. One of the crocodiles was enormous. The other was not so big. Do you know what I would like for my lunch today? The enormous crocodile asked. No, the not so big one said. What? The enormous crocodile grinned, showing hundreds of sharp white teeth. For my lunch today, he said, I would like a nice, juicy little child. I never eat children, the not so big one said. Only fish. Ho, 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 cried the enormous crocodile. I'll bet if you saw a fat, juicy little child paddling in the water over there at this very moment, you'd gulp him up in one gulp. No, I wouldn't, the not so big one said. Children are too tough and chewy. They are tough and chewy and nasty and bitter. Tough and chewy, cried the enormous crocodile. Nasty and bitter? What awful tommy rot you talk. They are juicy and yummy. They taste so bitter, the not so big one said. You have to cover them with sugar before you can eat them. Children are bigger than fish, said the enormous crocodile. You get bigger helpings. You are greedy, the not so big one said. You're the greediest croc in the whole river. I'm the bravest croc in the whole river, said the enormous crocodile. I'm the only one who dares to leave the water and go through the jungle to the town to look for little children to eat. You've only done that once, snorted the not-so-big one. And what happened then? They all saw you coming and they ran away. Ah, but today when I go, they won't see me at all, said the enormous crocodile. Of course they'll see you, said the not-so-big one. You're so enormous and ugly, they'll see you from miles away. The enormous crocodile grinned again, and his terrible sharp teeth sparkled like knives in the sun. Nobody will see me, he said, because this time I've thought up secret plans and clever tricks. Clever tricks, cried the not-so-big one. You've never done anything clever in your life. You're the stupidest croc on the whole river. I'm the cleverest croc on the whole river, the enormous crocodile answered. For my lunch today, I shall feast upon a fat, juicy little child while you lie here in the river feeling hungry. Goodbye. The enormous crocodile swam to the side of the river and crawled out of the water. Well, that is all for today's lesson. We shall pick up the second part of the enormous crocodile very, very soon. So, now it's time to use what you know and what you can imagine to visualize that part of this story. Okay? Draw it and then please send that to me. Alright? You guys are wonderful. I love you all dearly. Speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.